Historical records show that there was Jewish settlement in Vilna at the beginning of the 16th century. In the 17th century, it became famous as a place of Torah learning and later earned the title Jerusalem of Lithuania. The old nucleus of the city is the Fortress Hill, on which stands the castle of the city's founder, Prince Gedimin of the 14th century. Adam Mickiewicz Street, named after Poland's national poet who lived in Vilna. Fortress Street, a street which cuts the center of the city and leads to the municipal park, named after the Bernardine Order. This is an ancient street, built like most of the old streets in Vilna in the style of the Renaissance. The cathedral, the city's central church, stands in a broad square between the city's two municipal parks, the Bernardine and the Talatnik. The old university, named after King Stefan Batory, was founded in 1578. Some 4,000 students attend the university, among them more than 1,000 Jews, mostly in the faculties of law, philosophy, and the humanities, because of restrictions against Jews studying in other faculties such as medicine. The municipality building, one of the few in Europe in whose yard may still be found firemen with carts and horses. The Municipal Theater, Reduta. Its company includes some of Poland's best actors who have been attracted to the special artistic atmosphere of Vilna. The Jewish Quarter, which extends across several blocks in the center of the city. The old cemetery. This is the grave of the Vilna Gaon. Not far from him is buried the convert to Judaism, Prince Potocki, who became a Jew in 1749 and was burned at the stake for it. The yard of the famous synagogue, the Schulhof. Here are more than 20 different synagogues, study centers, schools for all kinds of trades, such as those of societies of tailors, painters, shoemakers, and even that of the gravediggers. In the middle stands the great synagogue built in 1573. The old Beit HaMidrash, the first building in the synagogue yard. The clocks show the times for prayers, the beginning and end of the Sabbath, the time for lighting candles. This is the entrance to the study house of the Vilna Gaon, and here is the charitable fund. Also in the synagogue yard is the Strashun Library. It was opened in 1902. The library is considered a center of Jewish learning because of the rare treasures of literature stored on its shelves. The heart of the Jewish ghetto consists of a network of narrow streets and alleys. The most important are the Street of the Glaziers and the Street of the Butchers. Here thousands of Jews in Vilna are born. Here they create and live full lives. The Gaon Street. In one of these dark houses, the Gaon, Rabbi Eliyahu, was born. In the second half of the 18th century, the Gaon's personality and activities made their imprint on Jewish Vilna, and his circle of students influenced all Jewry in the sphere of Halakha and Kabbalah. Under the Gaon's influence, Vilna became the center of opposition to Hasidism. Most of the ghetto's commerce is conducted in the street. Here men deal in salt herring, a small bunch of kindling wood, or a dozen rusty nails. Poverty isn't a shame, they say in Vilna, but it also isn't one of the most comfortable things in the world. The market women call out their wares. Here in Vilna, the women have a special talent for praising their merchandise, which sells for pennies to buyers who are far from choosy. one hears Lithuanian Yiddish, the juicy Mamaloshen, with all its idioms. Yiddish is spoken by all the Jews in Vilna, from the carter to the banker. This language serves the Jews of Vilna not only as a means of expression, but is connected to every aspect of Jewish life in the city. The Jewish carters know the whole city backwards and forwards. In days gone by, a carter such as this one would have been studying a chapter of the Mishnah. Today he reads a newspaper. Generally they're easygoing people, doing good deeds, polite. But to bargain with them, or to anger them, that's hardly worthwhile. They also know how to fight back against the Polish ruffians when necessary. Here lives the midwife. All the Jewish children have come into the world with her help. Here are the results of her work. Not bad at all if to judge by the photograph. These are the streets where the real Jewish commerce is done, and it goes on here day and night. The business houses in these streets do no retail trade. They supply merchandise to the entire area. Merchants from the surrounding villages come here to buy their stock. There is no item that can't be obtained here, from buttons to plows, from needles to grindstones for flour mills. And everything is done in Yiddish. Even the dentist, who also has Gentile patients, is not ashamed of his mother tongue. The new building of the Ramailas Yeshiva, which was established in 1831 under the direction of one of the great Torah scholars of those times, Rabbi Moshe Meltzer. From this yeshiva have come rabbis and dayanim who have served the centers of Jewry throughout Lithuania and Poland. The YIVO Institute, an institution of higher research in Yiddish language and culture. The municipal park, flowers, sun, fresh air, all that is needed by a Jew of the ghetto. In these kind of surroundings, numerous movements were born. The Socialist Bund, whose language is only Yiddish, and the Zionist Chovevei Tzion and Mizrahi movements. The Jewish youth in Vilna are organized into many youth movements, the largest proportion in the pioneering Zionist youth movements. Many of them set off from here to fulfill their ideals in the land of Israel. The youngsters also participate in various branches of sport, especially water sports. The Maccabi Sports Club has its own sailing jetty on the Vilna River. Let us also take a boat and sail in it along the river to lovely spots which invite one to stretch out and dream of a better world. Vilna, 1939.